also had elevated cholesterol. So we're finding all kinds of things. The most interesting thing is people are interested in remote sensing. We have people wear a patch for 2 weeks that records their EKG. And we found a number of people that have episodic atrial fibrillation for up to 8 hours a day, which puts these individuals at very high risk for a stroke. So it's very simple for those just to put them on an anticoagulant and try and get their AFib treated. One of the most interesting, we found an individual with complete heart block. His heart rate would go down to 20 beats a minute or less. He was completely unaware of it. He was essentially a walking time bomb for sudden cardiac death. He's now on a pacemaker. We also discovered that he had renal carcinoma. And this guy thought he was perfectly healthy coming in. So we're generating a lot of interesting data now to compare back to the data set with the genome. And we're starting to make interesting correlations. And the example we just published with machine learning was a clinical trial we did 1,000 volunteers where we sequenced their genomes, we recorded digitally their voice, and took 3D photos of their faces. And the goal was trying to see if we could predict voice and faces straight from the genetic code. Your voice, perfect pitch is totally genetic. We haven't gotten that far with voice yet, except simply from a digital recording, just kind of recording that's going on now. We can tell a person's age, their sex, and their height, straight from a digital voice. So if the news media did that, they would have known it was Donald Trump acting as his own press agent. So we think we'll make progress. We just need a larger data set on the voice. But we've made reasonable progress with predicting the face mass straight from the genetic code, and that's what we just published in PNAS. Your genome predicts what you look like just post-puberty. Almost everybody recognizes themselves in their picture. And think of it, it's just the face mass, so you don't have skull shape, you don't have hair, ears, or anything else. We're adding those now because we can get those measurements off the MRI. But generally, people can recognize 1 out of 10. The more ethnic diversity, the easier it is. But we probably need to go up at least an order of magnitude or 2 in data set size to get it so it's really precise like a photograph. Now it's great computer rendering, but we can identify anybody from their genetic code from the combination of factors that we measure. So if we gave you a report, it's a 500-page report. It starts with your computer-generated image, your prediction, your height, your weight, your eye color, your hair color, your BMI. We now measure the complete HLA haplotype, your Y chromosome, if you have one haplotype, X chromosome, mitochondrial haplotypes, a number of other factors that combined make it relatively easy to identify somebody. And even with the computer-generated pictures, with all the work that's going on now with digital face recognition, which is the basis of the new iPhone X, comparing pictures that we generate to pictures on the internet is going to make it even easier to identify people.
So you're going to break into people's iPhones, their genomes, right?
Well, you could do that. I hadn't thought of that, but that's. But the importance is we urge people to keep their data confidential. The data in our database is very confidential. We won't let anybody run algorithms to try and identify somebody, because we have a lot of famous people in there already that have gone through the system. But the government and the HIPAA regulations say you can de-identify a genome. which always seemed nonsensical because it's what's used to identify it. But, so it's going well. You know, we're getting ready to expand to create more health nuclei to get the numbers up, because that's what we need for the machine learning data.
So let's talk about that a little bit, because last time I checked and got the pamphlet and found out more information about it, I believe Health Nucleus was selling for $25,000, right? That's obviously prohibitively expensive for most people to sort of take. But you did mention that cost of sequencing is coming down, cost of MRIs are coming down. At what point does this become sort of more affordable for ordinary people so that we can actually get to the ends that we need to be able to?
That's a great question, and it's something we work on. So we have 3 tiers right now. So the platinum is the $25,000 version that takes 8 hours and is very comprehensive, includes neurological exams and a few other things. We have a gold version that is the genome, the complete suite of MRI tests, cardiac CT, and some blood work, and that's $7,500. And then we have the basic version, which is $4,900 of the whole genome plus the complete suite of MRI data. And the MRI data keeps getting more and more comprehensive. Siemens thinks within a year they'll be able to see coronary vessels, which will be a huge breakthrough, because then that eliminates one more stage, one more instrument. And you can add on the microbiome for $500. If you're really anxious to do it, if you do it before the end of this month, it's $2,500.
Wow.
So
I think you've sufficiently scared everyone. They're probably going to all come flocking to HLI.
Well, let me tell you what the real statistics are. For males in the U.S., 40% of you will never live to see the age of 74. For females, 28% of you will never see the age of 74. 2/3 of the reason are cancer and heart disease, both which we are showing, if they're detected early, are totally treatable, preventable, or actionable. If you wait till it's too late, then they're very complicated, and they lead to premature termination of your life. But just having a healthy cardiovascular system will prevent or help prevent Alzheimer's or other dementia types. So we look at the whole person and look at everything at once, versus if you go to a cardiovascular clinic, they look at your heart, or you go to a neurologist, they'll just look at your brain. And as a physiologist, I found out all these things are related. So you should be scared up to the point of trying to see what you can find out about yourself, because we empower people to save their own lives. And most people try and use diet and exercise as surrogates for not knowing anything about your true physiology. So I tell people you can eat all the kale you want, it's not going to change your life if you have a tumor growing on your kidney. Or you have a brain aneurysm. So we now enable with these tests for you to get the kind of information you have superficially on the outside from knowing what's going on in the inside.
Yeah, well, as you know, my complete unbiased opinion is to detect these diseases early is a good thing.
Yes, the data is supporting that quite strongly.
So we have a lot of technologists in the room and investors in technology. We've seen machine learning, deep learning methods take a tremendous amount of data. So for ImageNet, it took in excess of 100 million images to get to where it is today and its abilities. So obviously, those kinds of numbers are not going to happen anytime soon in healthcare. And I'd be interested to know, how many health nuclei do you think it will take for us to, become much more informed or be able to predict faces much more accurately? What is the end that we're sort of roughly shooting for?
So I think a good starting point we've set for ourselves, if we have 10,000 people get the comprehensive version of the health nucleus That's a lot of data.
Mhm.
The machine learners never have enough data.
Sure.
And so it's a question of what can you do with what you have. We will always be getting more and more data, but I think we surprised our machine learning team with how well the predictions work with only 1,000 patients.
Mhm.
I think, because they were betting it wasn't going to work at all.
Right.
But to get to the next stage, you have to go up 1 or 2 orders of magnitude. So more data is very important, but we're talking to some groups that are perhaps interested in us doing 1 million genomes.
Mhm.
Our facility is built to scale up to doing 1 million a year.
Oh.
The cost comes down to around $500 or $600. That changes the equation very substantially. And we're using machine learning on the whole body MRI images. So we've already used it on the brain, and we have this fantastic brain algorithm for quantitatively doing that. The team is developing one for diagnosing prostate cancer. The biggest cost are the cost of reagents from Illumina for sequencing.
Oh, I know a thing or two about that too. Yeah.
And the cost of the radiologist's time for reading the MRI. So we think we can get a genome and the complete suite of MRI data that we get down below $1,000.
Well,
The trouble is, most people in the U.S. have no sense of value of healthcare. In China, everybody pays for their own
Yes.
healthcare directly. They have a tremendous sense of value. So people say, gee, at $1,000, it's too expensive to get the genome. But most women will have their insurance company pay $5,000 to get a BRCA1 gene test. Now, if you were paying for that yourself, you might have a little bit more sense of value. So in terms of what we're going to be able to do for a couple $1,000s right now, exceeds the single gene test by about 4 orders of magnitude.
right.
But yet people think it's too expensive.